Well, welcome to yoga this morning. We've got an hour-long class. I just want to say first that I'm excited to get to work out with you guys, even if it's not the traditional way we get to, and I can't wait to get back into the gym with you. But we have an hour class, and just one thing to say, make sure that you have some room around you. You either have your mat or some carpet that you can be on, so some kind of non-slick surface. Make sure you don't have any socks on. And we're going to just let you pick your own music. So you might want to get onto YouTube and search for some yoga music, or just get some easy listening music that you enjoy, and let you work out with that. So we'll go ahead and get started. Don't mind all the stuff. I'm in my garage working out with y'all. So we'll go ahead and get started. All right, so let us start. Just sit down, get comfortable. We'll start with some seated breathing. Make the neck really long, roll the shoulders back. Inhale through the nose, and exhale through the nose. Deep breaths, inhale through the nose, and exhale. Make sure you fill the lungs fully, and then exhale fully. We'll start rolling our shoulders. We'll roll our shoulders back and down. Inhale as you lift them up, and then exhale as you bring them forward and down. The shoulders back and up, inhale, and then exhale as you bring them forward. Big stretches throughout the shoulders, stretching the neck, and deep breathing. One more. Let's reverse, bring the shoulders forward, up, inhale, then exhale as you pull the shoulders back and down. Again, inhale, lift up. Exhale as you bring them back and down. 3 more deep breaths in and deep exhales out. Inhale and exhale. Let's stretch the neck. Now bring the neck, tilt the head to the side, stretching the left side of the neck. Bring the shoulders down and switch sides. Stretch the right side of the neck. Again, switch sides. Left side again. Keep breathing, deep breaths in through the nose, out through the nose. Other side again. Let's take the head down, stretch the back of the neck, keeping the spine long, just stretching the neck. Then look up, stretch the front side of the neck. And still breathing in through the nose. Take the head down, out through the nose, deep breaths. Again, look up, stretch, and look down. One more time, look up and down. Let's inhale, bring the arms up overhead, big reach towards the sky. Inhale, then exhale, and then push down, nice, arms nice and long. Deep breath in, lift towards the sky, reach through the fingertips. Exhale, push the energy down. One more inhale, deep breath. And exhale fully. Now let's come to all fours. Bring the hands directly underneath the shoulders, knees under the hips. And let's come into cat and cow. So arch the back, lift the back towards the sky, tuck the chin in, draw the belly in for cat. And then release, lift the tailbone, lift the chin, arch the back. Now with your breath, inhale into cat, draw the belly in, lift the back. And then exhale, lift the tailbone and eyes to the sky. A few more in your own timing with your own breath. Let's come into down dog. So lift the hips high into the sky. Spread the fingertips. Push the heels towards the ground, feeling a good stretch in the back of the leg, the calves. Just towards your thighs, feel a good stretch in the shoulders. And start to bend one hand at a time, stretching the back of the legs one at a time. Pushing one heel towards the ground and lifting the other up. Continuing to breathe those deep breaths. Fully in through the nose and out through the nose. Let's bring the left leg a little towards the center and lift the right leg towards the sky for three-legged dog. Push the heel that's close to the ground down towards the ground. Then bend the knee that's in the air. Bring the ankle towards opposite side of the body. Square your shoulders, but let your hip come open. Then bring the right foot outside the front hand into a wide lunge. Straighten the back leg, push the hips down, and lift the chest, eyes up on the horizon. Again, inhale, lift the leg up, three-legged dog, bend the knee, open the hip. And then back into wide lunge. Bring a good stretch in the hips. Again, lifting the eyes, pushing the hips down, eyes on the horizon. One more on the side, lift up, bend the knee, open the hip. And then bring that foot right back down. Lift the chest, lift the eyes, hips down. Back into down dog. And push the heels towards the ground, chest towards the thighs. Bring the right foot towards the center of the mat. Lift the left leg into three-legged dog. Bend the left knee. Bring the ankle towards opposite side of the body. Square your shoulders, but let your hip come open in the air. Bring the left foot outside the left hand for wide lunge. Drop the hips, back leg straight. Lift the chest, eyes on the horizon. Again, bring the foot back into the air, three-legged dog. Square those shoulders, push that heel towards the mat. And again, wide lunge. If you need to, you can also help your foot up to get it closer to the hand. And one more. Three-legged dog, open that hip, square those shoulders. And back into wide lunge, dropping the hips, lifting the chest. Let's come back to down dog. Just walk in to fold forward. Let's just stay here for just a moment. Eyes to shins. Let the shoulders hang, the head hang. Relax the upper body. Eyes looking at the legs to feel a good stretch in the back of the legs. Coming into sun salutations. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, swan dive down, leading with the chest. Back to fold forward. Take the right foot back into lunge. Drop the hips down, lift the chest. And then come into down dog. Pushing the heels towards the ground. Stretching the shoulders. Forward into plank. Brace the core, bring the shoulders over hands. First time, bring the knees down. Crocodile down. And then come into baby cobra. Squeezing the glutes, lifting the chest, feeling strength in the back. Back into down dog. Bend the knees, bring the right foot between the hands into lunge. Drop the hips, lift the chest. And let's twist. Bring the right hand to the sky. Big stretch. Hips down, and a big stretch on the right. That's the body. Hands down. Step into fold forward. That's our sequence. Again, inhale, rise. Exhale, swan dive down, leading with the chest. Eyes to shins first this time. Left foot steps back into lunge. Drop the hips. Lift the chest. Try not to let the foot drag. See if you can pick the foot up and pull it back down. Into plank, this time knees or toes. Brace your core, elbows in as you chatter down. And then come into up dog or baby cobra. Squeezing glutes, opening the heart and lifting the chest. Then down dog again. The knees, left foot steps between the hands. Lift the chest, drop the hips. Bring the left hand to the sky, big twist, big reach behind. Hands down, step in to fold forward, eyes to shins. Again, inhale, rise. You can speed up just a bit, going with your breath. Exhale, swan dive down. You can stay with me or go to your other pace. Right foot steps back. Inhale, drop the hips, lift the chest. Exhale, down dog. Stretch the back of the legs before you shift forward. Inhale and come into plank. Knees or toes, crocodile down. And then up dog. Inhale, deep breath. Fill the lungs. Exhale as you down dog. In the knees, inhale, step into lunge, drop the hips, lift the chest. Big twist to the right side. Pushing hips down, pulling the arm back, and then step in to fold forward. Eyes to shins. Again, inhale, rise. Deep breath. Exhale, swan dive down. Left foot steps back to lunge, drop the hips, lift the chest. Step back to down dog. Shift forward into plank, brace the core. Come down, elbows stay in. Inhale, up dog, fill the lungs as you open the heart. Exhale, down dog. Left foot steps forward into lunge. Drop the hips, lift the chest, and then add that twist. Left arm to the sky, reaching through the fingertips. Hand down, and fold forward. And one more time, inhale. Exhale, dive down. Let's just stay here for just a moment, stretching the backs of the legs. Coming into warrior poses and strength. Take the right foot back into lunge. Drop the hips, lift the chest. Now plant the back foot down so that it's flat. You may need to move the foot out slightly to keep your hips square. Lift the chest and come into warrior one. Try to get the hips square. Push weight all the way through the outside part of your back foot for that solid base. And then bring the knee over the ankle. Try not to let it come in. Lift the chest towards the sky, belly in, and core brace. A few deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth as we stay here. In through the nose and out through the nose. And let's open up into warrior two. Open the hips, pull the knee out, and try to see if you can get that front leg parallel with the ground. And again, to the outside part of the back foot, that solid base. Want your shoulders directly over your hips. Reach long through the fingertips. Spread your shoulder blades. Few deep breaths. Inhale. And then exhale. Again, deep breath in. And exhale. One more time. Coming into triangle, straighten the front leg. Then tip forward, reach to the front. Bring the hand down either to the leg or the ground. And bring the right hand towards the sky. Want both legs straight here. And see if you can stack your shoulders by pulling your arm back and imagining that you have two walls on either side of you, one at your chest and one at your back, flattening your body between those two walls. Eyes to the sky, a few deep breaths here. Lift the chest back into warrior two. Sink in the hips, then come into sun warrior. Bring that front arm up overhead. Again, make sure you have that power, that weight through the back of the foot for the solid base. Feel a good stretch on the side of the body and power in the legs as you drop your hips down. Few deep breaths here. Belly in, embraced as you breathe. Straighten up back into warrior two and come into extended angle. Two options here, you can stay here. There's no weight on that arm, it's just there for balance. You can also bring the hand down for a deeper stretch in the legs. Try to drop your hips. Bring the arm overhead, eyes to the sky. Feeling power in that front thigh. A few deep breaths here. One more. My favorite's pyramid. Straighten both your legs. Pull the back leg in to where you can straighten both of your legs. Good stretch in the hamstrings. Bring your hands down on the line, down wherever feels good to you. You want to feel a great stretch in the back of the legs. See if you can flatten your back so that you're not rolling forward. You want a long spine, neutral spine. And I was looking to the ground. Keep breathing. Let time open those muscles as you breathe into the stretch. Few deep breaths. One more. And I step into forward. Same thing, other side. First, let's just let the legs even out. Bring the eyes to the shins. Relax the shoulders. Relax the neck. Sit here and stretch the back of the legs for a second. The other side, bring the left leg back into lunge to start. Drop the hips, lift the chest, then plant that back foot down. So you may need to pull the leg out a little bit so that you can keep your hips square and not open. So pull the leg out, then lift the arms up, drop the hips down. Lift the chest. And again, make sure you pull power. You push the outside part of the back foot down into the mat so that you have a solid base. Sink in the hips, belly in, eyes to the sky, and a few deep breaths here. One more deep breath. Now let's come into warrior two. So open the hips to the side. Pull the knee out over the little toe and see if you can drop your hips down so that your thigh is almost parallel to the ground. Knee directly over hip, and again, push the weight to the outside part of the back of the foot. Stretch the shoulder blades out, reach to the fingertips, shoulders directly over hips, and a few deep breaths here. And if you can sink into those hips, pulling power into those legs, pushing that front heel and back foot into the ground as you stretch your arms out wide. More deep breath. And coming into triangle, straighten the legs. Then reach the front foot. Bring the front arm down, either on the ground or on the leg, wherever feels good. Come into triangle, flattening the body by stacking the shoulders and pulling that arm back. And again, imagine that you have two walls, one at your chest, one at your back, and they're smushing you flat. Deep breaths here. A good stretch in the backs of the legs as you let time open them. Oxygen, fuel, filling your lungs and muscles. Let's bend the front knee, come back into warrior two. To start, drop the hips. Again, push that knee out. Bring the front arm back overhead into sun warrior. Again, make sure you've got that power through the back of the foot, that solid base. Belly in, and just reach overhead to feel a good stretch on the right side of the body. One more breath. Back into warrior two. Let's come into extended angle. Bring the front arm down just for balance. Back arm overhead. You can stay here. Again, no weight in that leg. Or you can come down for a deeper stretch in the hips and push your hips down, whatever feels good to you, to feel that good stretch in the legs. Arm up and eyes overhead. Few deep breaths here. Still feeling power in the front heel and through the back part of the back leg. One more breath. And stretch those legs out, pyramid. So pull that back leg in wherever you need to so that you can have both legs straight. And make sure you're not arching over. You want a flat back, a little higher. I'm looking at the ground, and shoulders roll back and away from your ears. A good stretch in the backs of the legs, especially that front leg. Deep breaths to help the stretch and help those muscles just open up. All right, two more deep breaths here. All right, good. Let's come back into full forward. Feet under hips, eyes to shins, and let the shoulders relax. Straighten out those hips for a second. Few deep breaths. All right, stand up. And a little balance. Let's start with tree pose. Bring the right foot on the ankle, hands to prayer, push the palms together. You can bring the foot underneath the knee. Or you can help the foot up over the knee. Just make sure it's not on the knee. Belly in and embraced. Stare at one spot for better balance. Push the standing foot into the ground and the foot that's on your leg into your leg. Squeeze the standing leg. Clasp the hands if you want and bring the arms and hands overhead. The shoulders down, big stretch. And also sides. Again, hands to prayer. Left foot on the ankle or underneath your knee, or you can hike it up over your knee, just not on the knee. Protect that joint. Shoulders roll down, belly in and braced, staring at one spot. Push the standing foot into the ground, and the foot that's on your leg into your leg, squeezing the standing leg muscles. If you like, clasp your hands and bring the arms overhead, the shoulders down. Still breathing. Good job. Let's shake out the legs. Next up, dancer pose. So bring the left foot behind, right arm out. Grab the outside part of the foot and bring the right hand towards the front. Begin, once you have your balance here, belly in and braced. When you feel good, start to tip forward and reach the hand forward. Pull the foot into the sky and press it into your back hand. It'll give you better balance by having that force between your hand pulling forward and your foot pushing back into the hand. Good job. Other side, let's shake first. Again, left arm out first this time. Grab the outside part of your foot. And once you feel that you have pretty good balance, start to tip forward and push the back foot into your hand and pulling your hand forward into your foot. Shake out the legs. Let's come down to stretch out our hips just a bit. Come seated. Bend both knees. Let's bring the right foot forward and the left knee behind. Now, if you'd like, you can stay right here and just fold forward. Or you can come into full pigeon. This means you straighten the back leg. Bring all 5 toes towards the ground and square your hips. Bring that other ankle towards your opposite hip. And if it feels good, just come down to wherever feels good for some deep breaths. Bring your forehead down to the ground if you'd like. About 5 deep breaths here. Deep breath in and out. Fully fill the lungs and let them help you open those muscles. Let's lift the chest slightly. And then take your left hand and bring it underneath your arm to thread the needle. Then lay your head back, the side of your head, down onto the ground if it feels good. And just relax here. Few deep breaths. In through the nose, out through the nose, fully filling those lungs. All right, let's lift the chest. Quad stretch. So take the back foot and bend the knee, pulling it in towards your body. You can stay here. You can square your shoulders, look to the front, or you can start to pull the foot into the elbow, and even into the mermaid. Whatever feels good to you. Stay here for a few deep breaths, and just try to see if you can wiggle those hips down towards the ground just a bit more. One more deep breath. Let's release the foot. Let's switch sides. This time, bring the left foot forward. Actually, let's start by bending both knees with the left foot forward. You can stay here and just lean forward if that's all you feel like doing today. If you want full pigeon, roll the hips down so that they're square. Pull that front ankle up towards opposite hip and all 5 toes on the ground. And just come down to wherever feels good to you. With some deep breathing. Slowly trying to wiggle those hips down into the mat. Letting oxygen fill the lungs, open the muscles, open those hips. Let's lift the chest and thread the needle. This time we take our right arm and weave it underneath the left arm and then bring the head back down. Just relaxing here, feeling a good shoulder stretch with the legs and hips. One more deep breath. And then let's lift the chest. Quad stretch again. Turn to the side. You can stay here. Bend the back leg and grab the ankle. And try to square your shoulders so you feel a good stretch on that back quad. If it feels good, you can start to pull the foot into the back of the elbow, and you can even hit mermaid if you'd like. Stay here for some deep breaths as you feel the quads and the hips open more. Try to wiggle those hips down for a deeper stretch through the muscles. Few deep breaths here. Release the back foot. I'm going to turn it this way. We're going to take our front foot and bring it outside of our left hand. Drop the back knee down, lizard. So you can either stay right here, try to get that foot up next to the hand, and stay right here, and just breathe, or you can come down to your elbows if that feels good. You can either keep the back knee down, or you can lift the leg and choose. Stay here for a few deep breaths. Just let those hips open. Fill the lungs fully. Inhale, and then exhale fully. One more deep breath in, and exhale out. Lift the chest, drag that back foot in, and then come into half lotus, or bring the foot in front if you'd like, over your ankle or over your knee. Bring both sit bones down, chest lifted, and bring the right arm up, lean to the side. Try to keep both sit bones down. Open the shoulders towards the sky, eyes looking up. It's okay if you're not quite as low, wherever you feel good, whatever feels good to your body. Then let's open the hand towards the sky. Pull the arm back. Reach up, inhale. And then as you exhale, just fold forward. Stay right here for just a minute. Push those hips backward just a tad for a deeper stretch. And try not to round the back. Try to get the back as straight while lifting, pushing the chest towards the legs. Okay, if you're right here, wherever feels good to you. Not a competition, it's all about your body and what feels good. Lift the chest. Let's switch sides. This time, bring the left leg back again. Square the hips, and then bring the right foot outside of your right hand. If it feels good to stay here, then stay here. You want a deeper stretch, and if it feels good, come down to your elbows for lizard. Few deep breaths here. Fill the lungs. Inhale, then exhale fully. Few deep breaths here. Inhale, and then exhale. Back to the hands. Drag the back foot in into seated position. You can cross the leg in front. You can bring the foot over your ankle or over your knee. Push the hips back so that both sit bones are flat. And this time reach it up and over this way. Open the shoulders towards the sky. Do a good stretch on the left side of the body. And try to make sure that you keep that left hip down to feel a good stretch. Open the eyes to the sky and just breathe deep. It's okay if you're higher up, just whatever feels good to you. Let's open the arm, stretch the arm out, reach behind, feel a good stretch through the shoulder, arm. Inhale, bring the arms up. And then exhale and fold forward and just stay here for just a moment. Deep breaths in, and again, try not to round the back. Try to bring the chest to lead with the chest down. It's okay if you're right here. Whatever feels good, just sink back into those hips. Let's lift the chest. All right, so we'll move for the abs, boat pose. Bring the toes together, knees together, belly or chest lifted, belly in and braced, and lean back. Bring the arms to the side if you want, and straighten the legs if you want. You can stay right here, bent, or extend out. That feels good to you. Just brace the core, keep the chest lifted. Hold here, keep bracing, keep breathing. Good job. All right, let's come into pose for the back, camel pose. So come onto your knees underneath your hips. And you can lean back. We'll start by bringing the hands to the hips, lifting the hips, squeeze the glutes, and push the hips forward. You can bring one hand down to your ankles, or you can bring both hands down and look overhead. Just make sure you squeeze the glutes, lift the back, push the hips, or lift the hips forward. Keep breathing. Squeezing, keep lifting. Here for a few breaths. Whenever you want, you can come into child's pose and come out of it. When you want to come out of it, reach one arm forward and then lift out. Let's come into child's pose for just a second. Bring the knees out, toes together, and then drop the head down to the mat and just relax here for a second. Stretch out that back. Few deep breaths. Let's lift the chest. Let's come onto our bellies. One more move for the back. Goes this way. So bring right arm out forward. Bend the left leg and bring the hand inside the ankle. Lift up for half boat this way. Squeezing the glutes, lifting the back leg, and pushing the foot into the hand. Now, if you want, you can do full boat. And try to close the knees, close the legs, squeeze the glutes, lift the chest. Push the hands or the legs, the feet, into the hands as you try to lift the thighs and the legs off the ground and into the air. Few deep breaths here. You're on half boat, switch sides now. If you had enough, you can come into child's pose whenever you want. Let's release. Let's come back down into child's pose. Knees wide, toes together. Drop the head to the mat. Stay here for just a second. Release the back out. And lift the chest. Once again, bring the feet forward and come to seated position. If you twist, bring the right leg in front. You're on the ankle or knee. Lift the chest. Make the spine really long. And then let's take the left hand for the back shoulder. So make sure that you're not arched forward. Make sure that your chest is lifted. Your crown is towards the ceiling. And you're looking over that back shoulder to enhance the twist. Again, G-leg pose. Deep breath here. Inhale. And then exhale forward. One more. Let's switch sides. Bring the right hand across, right and left thigh. Again, keeping the chest nice and tall. Lift your chest. Head towards the ceiling, make the spine and the neck really long. And then look over that back shoulder. Keep the stretch active. Deep breath. Unwind. Let's stand back up. Let's turn to the side. And take your front leg, your leg that's closest to me. Step it forward. Come into a lunge. You can drop the back down. Lift your chest. And then pull the back arm forward. Wrap the back arm behind. Push the hips down towards the front ankle and leg. And just look over that back shoulder. Few deep breaths here. Chest lifted and then pushing that arm into the leg to enhance the twist. One more deep breath. And let's switch sides. So just wind around to the other side. Again, push the hips down. Gentle on your hip flexor, whatever feels good to you. Bring the left arm across the front leg. Right arm wraps behind. Look over the back shoulder, and wherever it feels good, you can push down into the hips a little more. Few deep breaths here, keeping the stretch active. Good job. Unwind. Ready, child's pose one time. Now one more. Twist, stretch. So toes together, knees wide. Drop the forehead down. Stretch up the back. Let those hips. Let's lift the chest. Let's come onto our backs. You can just lay back. I'm going to turn to the side. Bring your arms out so that they are shoulder height, palms facing up. And then bring the knees to the back of the room or to one side. Try to keep both shoulders flat. Lift the head and turn it in the opposite side of your legs. Keep the knees stacked one over the other. And see if you can relax your hips and let them melt into the ground. If you want a deeper stretch, you can pull your knees up closer to your leg or to your arm, and you can extend the top leg. But again, stack the knees on top of each other. Keep the shoulders as flat as possible, and just see if you can relax your hips and let them melt into the ground. Deep breaths here. Lengthen the nose, out to the nose. Deep breaths in. As you exhale, see if you can relax your hips, relax your muscles just a bit more to let them melt more fully into the mat. And then let's turn to the other side. From the opposite side, let's start by just making sure our shoulders are flat. Lift the head, look in the opposite direction. Make sure your knees are on top of each other. And see if you can just relax your hips. So you can let your body melt more fully into the ground. You want to keep your stretch through your hamstrings and through your spine. You can bring the knees up towards the elbow a little higher. Extend the top leg, again stacking the knees. And just relax your hips. Relax your body. And melt more fully into your neck and the ground. Don't forget to breathe. It helps to open our muscles. Let's unwind. Let's just come to sitting position as we stretch our hamstrings. Let's start by extending one leg out, and then bending the other knee. Bring the left arm up and over as you lean to the side to stretch your hips and your hamstring. Open your shoulders towards the sky and take a few deep breaths here. Reach long through the fingertips. And other side, let's bend the right knee, straighten the left leg, and then reach the right arm up and over. Open the shoulders towards the sky. Reach through the fingertips towards the toes. Eyes to the sky. Deep breathing still. One more deep breath. Unwind. Let's bring our feet together. Extend them out forward. So mariachi pose. We'll go into mariachi pose. Take the left knee, bend the left knee, and bring the foot in front of your hip. So start here by lifting the chest and just hugging the leg into the body. You can stay here if you want to. If you like, you can bring the hand down, right hand down, and bring the left hand in front of your leg, lifting the chest. If you'd like, you can bring the hands behind and clasp the hands, lift the chest, Make the spine long and then lean forward, leaning with the chest to wherever feels good to you. So any of those three options. Stay right here for just a minute, stretching the hamstrings and the hips. Few deep breaths. Deep breath in and deep exhale out. Lift the chest, other side, so straighten the left leg, bend the right knee, hold that right foot in front of your hip, hug the leg into the chest and lift the chest, making the spine nice and long. You can stay here if you'd like. If you want more, bring the left hand down, the right hand comes in front of the leg, lift your chest. You can stay right here if you'd like. If you want, coming into mariachi, bring the hands together, clasping them together. Lift the chest up, straighten the spine, and then lean forward to wherever feels good to you. A few deep breaths here. One more deep breath in and out. Come into happy baby. So come onto your back. Bring the hands inside the feet. Open the knees wide and push the knees towards the ground. Flat back. Relax the shoulders and just see if you can stretch your hips this way. Like you can rock back and forth and gently massage the lower back that way. Just think that right here and just push those knees down. Keep the stretch active and gentle. Just relaxing the stretch and breathing. Bring the feet down here just a few minutes for relaxation. So bring the palms out, facing up. Knees together, feet go low. Pressure in your lower back, you can stay right here. Like that, let the kneecaps roll open and just see if you can relax your body into your mat. Close your eyes. All tension that you have in your muscles. Scan your body from foot all the way up to your head, all the way out to your arms and fingers. And try to relax every muscle into the ground. You stay there. Keep breathing. So take a scan of your body. Like I said, starting with the feet. Make sure that your feet and your knees are relaxed. If you feel any tension in those areas, readjust to the area and see if you can melt more forward into your mat. Relaxing those muscles. Coming up through your hips. Relax there. Release the tension. Through your shoulders, relax. And your eyes and mouth, relax. And just let the muscles melt fully into the mat. And let's roll to one side, cradling the head with the arm whenever you're comfortable. And then coming up to a seated position. That wraps up our yoga class for today. Thank you all so much for joining, and I hope you have a wonderful day. I can't wait to see you back at the gym.